Dear students, welcome to the fourth video on Amigo brothers. In the last session, we discussed how these two lightweight boxers, Antonio Cruz and Felix Vargas, started the first round of the boxing match. I have already mentioned the various categories, the major categories of boxing. These two boxers belong to the lightweight category. That means these two boxers were below 135 pounds. Felix Vargas was 134 pounds and Antonio Cruz was 133 pounds. Lightweight boxers should be below 135 pounds or 61 kilograms. In the last session, we discussed how these two boxers fought ferociously in the first round of the boxing match, in the first round of the division finals. They were thick friends, but at the beginning of the first round itself, they realized that their friendship would not affect them, particularly when Felix Vargas received some painful blows from Antonio Cruz. Any doubt regarding their friendship affecting the match was neatly dispelled from his mind, was neatly eliminated from his mind. That expression clearly indicates that the two boxers fought ferociously in that boxing match. Their friendship did not affect the match. So in the last class, we discussed how these two boxers fought in the first round of the boxing match. Now we move on to the next few paragraphs. Now we are going to discuss the second and third rounds of these boxing match. Bong bong, round 2. Felix was off his stool and rushed to Antonio like a bull, sending a hard right to his head. Antonio hurt, sent back a blurring barrage of lefts and rights that only meant pain to Felix. Felix bobbed and weaved, occasionally punching his two gloves together. Antonio waited for the rush that was sure to come. Felix closed in and feinted with his left shoulder and threw a right instead. In the second round also, Felix started the bout very quickly. He rushed towards Antonio and he hit him hard with his right hand. He threw a powerful right to Antonio Cruz. Then there was a blurring barrage of rights and lefts from Antonio Cruz that meant pain to Felix. There was a blurring barrage. Blurring means something that made the vision obscure, something that disoriented Felix Vargas, something that blurred Felix Vargas. There was a blurring barrage of rights and lefts from Antonio Cruz, which meant pain to Felix Vargas. Felix Vargas bobbed, weaved, and occasionally he punched his gloves together to protect his face from the blurring barrage of punches from Antonio Cruz. He resorted to defensive tactics like bobbing, weaving, and punching his gloves together to protect his face from the powerful jabs of Antonio Cruz. Antonio Cruz also knew that Felix Vargas would attack him soon. He was waiting for the rush. Felix closed in and he feinted his left shoulder and hit him with his right hand. He feinted his left shoulder. This is another tactic used by boxers to deceive someone by making a false move, by making a deceptive move. Here, he feinted with his left shoulder. That means he gave an impression to Antonio Cruz that he was going to attack him using his left jab, using his left hand, but suddenly he attacked him with his right arm. Now we move on to the next few paragraphs in the story. Rights to the body, lefts to the head. Neither fighter was giving an inch. Suddenly a short right caught Antonio squarely on the chin. His long legs turned to jelly and his arms flailed out desperately. Felix, grunting like a bull, threw wild punches from every direction. Antonio, groggy, bobbed and waved, evading most of the blows. Suddenly his head cleared, his left flashed out hard and straight, catching Felix on the bridge of his nose. In a fog, Felix heard the roaring of the crowd, who seemed to have gone insane. His head cleared to hear the bell sound at the end of the round. His trainer sat him down on the stool. In his corner, Antonio was doing what all fighters do when they are hurt. They sit and smile at everyone. Right punches to the body, left punches to the head. Suddenly, a right caught Antonio on his chin. Antonio was groggy. He was confused. He was disoriented. He flailed. The meaning of the word flail, he struggled very hard to regain his normal state. He struggled hard desperately. He struggled hard in a severe way. Felix Vargas rushed at Antonio like a bull. He was grunting like a bull, throwing lefts and rights to Antonio, and Antonio was able to evade most of these blows even though he was in a groggy state. Suddenly his head cleared and he hit hard. He flashed out at Felix Vargas and that blow caught the bridge of Felix Vargas. The crowd roared. The crowd roared in frenzy. And Felix Vargas, he heard the roaring of the crowd in a fog. That means he was also in a groggy state. He was also in a confused state when he received that powerful blow on the bridge of his nose from Antonio Cruz. In a fog, Felix heard the roaring of the crowd that had gone insane, that had gone mad. In a fog, when he received that blow, he was a little bit disoriented and he couldn't hear the roaring of the crowd in a clear way, roaring of the crowd properly. Then his head cleared to hear the bell announcing the end of the second round. His trainer sat him on his stool. Antonio moved towards his corner. He sat there on his stool and he was doing what all fighters do when they are hurt. He sat there and started smiling at everyone. Now I move on to the text. The referee signaled the ring doctor to check the fighters out. He did so and then gave his okay. The cold water sponges brought clarity to both Amigo brothers. They were rubbed until their circulation ran free. Bong. Round 3. The final round. Up to now, it had been tic-tac-toe. Pretty much even. But everyone knew there could be no draw and that this round would decide the winner. The referee signaled the ring doctor to examine the two fighters and the ring doctor arrived and examined the two boxers and he signaled okay. That means these two boxers could continue their fight. They were okay. they could continue their fight. Cold water sponges were used to rub these two boxes to make their circulation run free, to make their blood circulation as well as air circulation run free. Now the bell rang, which announced the beginning of the last round, the final round of that engaging boxing match, that absorbing boxing match between these two fighters, between these two young boxers, Antonio Cruz and Felix Vargas. Heretofore, the match had been tic-tac-toe. Tic-tac-toe is the North American expression for noughts and crosses. Noughts and crosses is a game in which players take the turns to put circles and crosses. A very simple game. When students feel bored in classrooms, they start playing these noughts and crosses. They take the turns putting circles and crosses. Heretofore, the boxing match had been tic-tac-toe. That means a punch from one boxer and a counter punch from his opponent. It was evenly poised. The match was evenly balanced. But as it was an elimination bout, there would be only one winner. And the third round would definitely decide who would be the winner of this boxing match and who would represent the boys club in the Golden Gloves Championship, the tournament of the champions. Again, I move on to the text. This time, to Felix's surprise, it was Antonio who came out fast, charging across the ring. Felix braced himself but couldn't ward off the barrage of punches. Felix tapped his gloves and commenced his attack anew. Antonio, throwing boxes caution to the winds, jumped in to meet him. Both pounded away. Neither gave an inch and neither fell to the canvas. They fought toe to toe. The sounds of their blows were loud in contrast to the silence of a crowd gone completely mute. The referee was stunned by their savagery. In the first two rounds at the beginning, Felix was very quick and he started the bout in a ferocious way. But in the third round, Antonio was the aggressor. He started the round very quickly. He was very aggressive. He ran towards Felix and there was a barrage of punches. Felix tried his level best to evade this barrage of punches from Antonio Cruz. Antonio threw the boxer's caution to the winds, an expression used in the text. He threw away the boxer's caution to the winds. Usually these tactics can be considered as a mixture of aggression and defense. But here he threw away those cautious defensive tactics. He threw away those defensive tactics and he attacked him outrightly. He wanted to win the match and he resorted to aggressive tactics. He threw away the caution of a boxer in the final round of the match. That means he wanted to win the match outrightly. Felix bobbed, wept, and now he punched his gloves together and commenced the match afresh. Commenced the bout afresh. Started the bout afresh. Both of them pounded away. That means both of them hit heavily and repeatedly. Neither gave an inch. Neither fell to the canvas. They fought toe to toe. That means they fought directly. It was a direct combat and they fought directly. Toe to toe means a direct combat, or they fought directly. The sounds of the blows were so loud in contrast to the silence of the crowd, which had gone completely mute. Even the referee was stunned, shocked by the savagery of these two boxers. Now, the remaining paragraphs in the story Amigo Brothers by P.D. Thomas. Bong, bong, bong. The bell sounded over and over again. Felix and Antonio were past hearing. Their blows continued to pound on each other like hailstones. Finally, the referee and the two trainers pried Felix and Antonio apart. Cold water was poured over them to bring them back to their senses. They looked around and then rushed toward each other. A cry of alarm surged through Tompkins Square Park. Was this a fight to the death instead of a boxing match? The fear soon gave way to wave upon wave of cheering as the two amigos embraced. No matter what the decision, they knew they would always be champions to each other. Bong, bong. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner and representative to the Golden Gloves Tournament of Champions is... The announcer turned to point to the winner and found himself alone. Arm in arm, the champions had already left the ring. Bong, bong, bong. The bell rang and it announced the end of the match between the two young Puerto Ricans. It announced the end of the finals, but the two boxers continued to fight each other. They pounded away. Their blows continued to pound on each other like hailstones. The referee and the trainers, they tried to pry them away. They tried to separate these two boxers. Cold water was poured over their heads to bring them back to their senses. They looked around and again they rushed towards each other. There was a cry of alarm that surged through the Tompkins Square Park. The crowd feared whether it was a fight till death or a boxing match. But soon their fear gave way to a huge round of applause, gave way to wave upon wave of cheering, because the two amigos, they embraced each other. For them, they were true champions. For them, they were real champions. They fought very hard and they exhibited wonderful skills of boxing there, and also they epitomized true friendship there in that boxing ring. Bong, bong, bong. The crowd was waiting for the final verdict, and the announcer came with the final verdict. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this boxing match and the winner who was going to represent the boys club in the Golden Gloves Championship was... He turned towards the winner, but he found himself alone there because the two young boxers, arm in arm, had already left the boxing arena. So here comes the end of the story Amigo Brothers by P.D. Thomas. That's all for the day. Thank you.